this is just a piece of fuck. There's also this asshole named Ricky the Rat who's trying to knock you off your skateboard and turn you into a heroin junkie. You also have to prevent a poodle from getting her radio stolen, stop a lizard from drunk driving, and deal with other things that either want you to die or want you to snort crack up your bear snout. The music in this game just fucking sucks. I mean, no bad game is complete without some auditory shit that makes you want to puke. You'd rather listen to your only infant child choking to death. So, just turn down the volume, and while you're at it, just turn off the fucking game. Back in the 80s, it seemed like there were all these characters trying to keep kids off of drugs, whether it was Mick Gruff, or Pee-wee, or the combined efforts of Alf, Michelangelo, Bugs Bunny, and Miss Piggy. And this game, I'm sure, it didn't help kids stay off drugs at all. In fact, I'm sure the people who made it were on something. So, avoid it at all costs, unless you are fucked up on drugs. So in that case, let's say no to drugs, and let's say no to this fucking game. It has just come to my attention that there is a Wally Bear hotline, 1-800-HI-WALLY. Now, you wouldn't think that after like 20 years that number would still be functional, but somewhere in some old dusty basement, Wally Bear still lives.
Hey, Wally Bear. Thanks for calling me on my special Wally Bear hotline. I'm Captain National Clearing House for Alcohol and Drug Information in Rockville, Maryland. And guess what? I can send you lots of information and fun stuff about how to keep yourself safe from drugs. It's all free, and it's as easy as 1, 2, 3, and that's pretty easy. All you have to do is just say, hey, and mailing yourself. I'll keep in touch with you like that. Stop to help you have a healthy drug-free day and with a drug-free lifestyle. Have 8 simple answers to 8 big questions. Each answer comes from a 2% growth and all game. Just press the number you'd like to hear. On number 1, Rachel Rabbit, jump up.
Fuck that. It's creeping me out. It's like listening to a ghost.
We're up to skunk and Johnny with beer.
I'm going to review a good game for once. Yeah, now don't worry, I'll go back to torture myself with shitty ones, but for now, let's do something awesome. Super Mario Bros. 3 is often considered to be the greatest game on the NES, and for good reasons. It took everything that made the first Mario great and multiplied it several times over, adding new intricate levels of gameplay and challenges. Whether it's the top loader or that classic gray box, the Nintendo Entertainment System was at the height of its popularity when this masterpiece came along to push it over the top and make an everlasting impression, the defining moment of our childhood pastime. During the final years of the 8-bit era, many other games came along like McKids and Tiny Toon Adventures, which tried to emulate its gameplay, its power-up system, and overall design. It was one of the first games I remember to have a strategy guide. There was also a Super Mario Bros. 3 cartoon series, even though there was no 2. That's the power that this game had. All you got to do is say Mario 3, and anyone will go, oh yeah. Now, all the hype began before the game was even released. Most of us first heard about Mario 3 in the 1989 movie, The Wizard, an innocent little family flick, but essentially a theatrical Nintendo commercial in disguise as a feature film. The plot involved a kid named Jimmy suffering from a mental disorder after his sister died. They put him in an institution, his brother breaks him out, and they run away. On top of that, Jimmy's hell-bent on going to California.
California? California. 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 California.
All just because he wants to leave photographs of his sister inside Dinny the Dinosaur, one of 2 dinosaur statues previously featured in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Along the way, they meet some girl who's also a runaway, and they find out that Jimmy kicked ass at Nintendo games, so they enter a video game tournament called Video Armageddon. Throughout the course of all this, they're being chased by some asshole who finds lost kids for money. Meanwhile, he's competing with his father and older brother who are trying to find him first. So, yeah, that's all great, but do you think any 9-year-old kid gave 2 fucking shits about the plot of this movie? I know I didn't. I saw it in the theater opening day, and here's a perfect reenactment, all for you. What the hell is this shit? I don't care what these people are talking about. Oh, look back there. What game is this? Who the hell are you? Go back to the freaking Wonder Years, you piece of shit! Well, what game's that? Oh, you hear it? That's Zelda 2. Oh, what games are they playing? Turn it around. Come on, I want to see the damn game! That's what it was like. You'd see a few moments of a game, you'd get excited, and then it's back to the story.
I got the scroll weapon. And I almost beat Mega Turtle at the end of level 3.
While some game lingo was thrown in, the audience, the kids watching the movie, were the experts and would notice anything that was wrong. When Jimmy's playing Double Dragon, he starts mashing buttons before the game even begins. Then after his brother pulls him away, only to turn back, he says,
50,000. You got 50,000 on Double Dragon?
50,000? How could you get 50,000 points in less than a minute? And why such a random number? Also note that it's not the arcade version of Double Dragon, it's the Nintendo version, which means that he's playing it on the Play Choice 10, an arcade clone of games that were also on the NES. Obviously an endorsement from Nintendo, but the tabletop one in the diner, I've never seen that. Then there's the Nintendo Power Tip line. That's right, people sitting around ready to help you with any game problem you have.
Simon Quest.
Just call that 900 number and rack your parents' phone bill up the ass. Enter Lucas, the other villain, the opposing game expert of the film.
The Gimme gave me 1. I'm good at all of them. I have 97 of them.
You know all 97 of them?
Today there's about 800 Nintendo games, but for the time being, let's say, okay, Lucas is the master at Nintendo because he has all 97 games. You want to be as badass as him, right? Well, you better get your parents to take out a loan and get you every Nintendo game. And of course, the biggest advertisement ever in a movie, the Power Glove. He proves his radicalness by playing Rad Racer. Rock music comes on, which doesn't belong from the game. You can chop out 20 seconds of this, repackage it, and air it on TV, and there you go. It's a commercial for the Power Glove.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
The Wizard was a rare instance in product placement when the prime moviegoers were interested in the product rather than the movie itself. Again, much like in Pee-wee, it ends with a big chase through a movie studio, this time the Universal backlot, from the monster movie set to where King Kong attacks the trolley. Universal Theme Park was just about to open in Florida that